gotta give all, no loss or excuses, cause we gotta win. They say they sleep, must not be a fan. Get at your mans and mess up your plans. Look at your stands and look at your hands. I do what I want and you do what you can. I do it for fans, you do it for fans.
Head coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Back to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 48-yard line. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And some space here. Past the 20. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Gone! Over!
First down, Mayfield. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? Because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. 1st and 10 at the 19. On the carry, it's Muhammad. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. His extra point of tying this thing up. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days. Offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to air one out. It got his man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. And that is how you retaliate. After getting scored on one play, big pass downfield, and you hit the end zone.
Almost feels like two boxers just throwing haymakers at each other, doesn't it? One connects with a big one, the other comes right back. Okay, I'll show you. And they attacked right back on the first play of the drive and hit them big.
This is taken at his 4. Oh, good footwork on the spin. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Looking deep for Adams. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And he'll go on the ground. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And some room to maneuver. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. There, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
At home, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They begin the drive on the ground with Allen. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
They'll run with Muhammad. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job, to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. To Allen on the dump off. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. To go here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this.
Watching that, Barney!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Watching that, Barney!
And they'll run it here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
So it looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. Oh, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw, Mayfield. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Here's Allen. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. Flush to his right. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the toe.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The lake effect snow set to continue for the 2nd half of action as we are back underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They'll run it. This is Muhammad. He finds an opening past the 40. A big run there. 29 yards and a 1st.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender is bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland 1st. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield escaping the pressure right. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how to...
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability and a sack.
And the ball is knocked out, and I think the Browns got it. They did.
I know that taking care of the football is something is drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit. Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Here's Muhammad, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. From the gun, Mayfield. And this is caught at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. They'll give it to him up the middle. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either call pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Well, they are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Man, so many times we hear...
That's caught inside the 20. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. They come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Raiders are an extra point away from taking the lead. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Leopard! Leopard! Detroit! Detroit!
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And on the ground they go with a running back. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They'll look to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on fourth. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. And they'll go on the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now. They feel a whole lot better about their position.
On a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. First down now, but that clock rolling. He's back to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A very solid gain of 27.
You have no timeouts remaining. You absolutely have to get out of bounds.